Welcome back to Just Got Brady on BJPenn.com. I'm your host, Cole Shelton. Episode 203 is live ahead of UFC Paris this weekend. First up, we're going to be joined by Modestas Bukauskas to preview his fight against Paul Craig on the main card. A really fun fight, a light heavyweight. Modestas is glad to fight a really well-known guy in Paul Craig, and he's really looking forward to this matchup. He thinks this is a good matchup for him to get a big knockout win and really start working his way up those light heavyweight ranks. But always enjoy talking with Modestas about kind of everything. He also gave some insight into Tom Aspinall's camp, as obviously Aspinall, him and Aspinall are teammates. They train together a lot. And then we close things out talking with former UFC heavyweight Martin Buday just to kind of talk about why he decided to sign with the Octagon. He was obviously not brought back after the UFC after his last win over Buchecha. Went 7-1 in the UFC, but he said the UFC just wanted more finishes, and so that's the reason why he didn't get a new contract. He's a bit disappointed, but plenty of options. He said he had PFL, he had Octagon, he had some good options, but he's the former Octagon heavyweight champ. He wanted to go get his belt back, and he believes he's getting a big fight kind of right off the bat. And he wants to kind of prove to everyone that he can finish guys. He wants to get back to finishes and then kind of see what happens with his career. But thank you all for listening. Be sure to tune in to BJ Penn's YouTube. We drop interviews all the time, and especially this show. But thank you all for listening. All right, we're jumping to UFC light heavyweight. Modestas Bukauskas is back in action here at UFC Paris. Modestas, how's it going, man?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. Training very hard, but feeling good, mate. Always good to speak to you.
Yeah, obviously coming off the big win in May, like kind of looking back, what do you kind of take away from that? Like obviously it was a quick turnaround after your last one, like the booking had happened, not a whole lot of time fighting a dangerous guy and Kutalava. Like how kind of happy were you to get that win?
Yeah. It was obviously it was a very close fight. I'm not in denial of that. I do think the scorecards were a little bit weird. I think it definitely should have been a 29-28 to me. Split decision that way as opposed to 27, 30, 27. I definitely didn't think I won all the rounds, but I definitely thought I won two of the rounds. It was a tough fight. My first fight fighting like a much higher profile guy, kind of getting closer towards the top 15. I had a bit of nerves, I had a bit of jitters, but ultimately I got the job done. I landed the more sort of meaningful strikes, and like I say, that's what counted because every time I was landing shots on him, the crowd was going crazy. So it was a good win, but I definitely could have performed much better, and that's why I got straight back into the training room and got back to improving the skill set ready for my next matchup.
That is always weird when you have like a split decision with opposing 30-27s. Like it is super weird whenever you hear it. I thought it kind of came down to what was it, the second round? I was trying to think back. What was the swing round? I thought it was like 1-1. I thought you won the 2-1, but I'm trying to remember the rounds. I thought there was like one round that kind of was
Yeah,
close.
I thought 1 and 3 I probably won just because I remember I was trying to land I landed more strikes in that third round, sort of especially towards the end. I thought second round he probably ended up having that one, but yeah, in my opinion, I thought it was 1 and 3 to me.
Then did you always want like a bit of more time off just after making the back-to-back fights? Was that kind of the plan for this one?
Um, Well, what happened was I just, like I said, just got back into training. I just got back into sort of improving my skill set. And then next thing you know, I get a call from my manager, Jason, at like 12 o'clock at night. And he said, hey, we're going to fight in Paris against Paul Craig. I was like, sick, let's get on it. I did want to try and get like a load of fights in this year, at least 3. And, with a big performance here, I could potentially get 4. So, I like to stay active. It's good. I had a guess you could say a little break. It wasn't much of a break because I just wanted to get back into training, and improving. So it kind of just worked out well for me, to be fair. I was just sort of, like I say, staying in the gym, staying prepared, and then the fight just came to fruition. So it worked out very well for me.
Usually when you fight in like Europe or the UK, you're going to be the guy getting cheered. Do you imagine like they'll be cheering Craig, or like how do you think the crowd will be? Because like both you guys aren't from there, but it's like it's kind of weird. Like I don't really know who they'll be cheering on.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Obviously, they got. I think they got a lot of French fighters on the card, so obviously they're going to be backing them. But I'm going to be coming out with the British and the Lithuanian flags, so we'll see who they go towards more. Like I say, I like to fight. Like I say, trying to get into the pocket and trying to land my strikes and stuff like this. So I don't know, mate. It could be 50-50. It could be boos and cheers for both sides, 50-50. So, but like I say, always the crowd in Paris, from what I've heard, is absolutely amazing. So either way, I know they're going to get fired up and right behind it.
How excited were you to get on this Paris card to stay kind of close in Europe? Like I know you missed the. I know you always like fighting in like London or just anywhere in the UK, but stay kind of close in Paris. How excited are you to get on
Oh
this
mate,
card?
couldn't really be any better. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's outside of fighting in Manchester or London. This is like the next best thing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Fighting in Europe, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour plane journey, 1 hour time difference. It's perfect. Now it's nice to finally, fight the time difference sort of in my. I know obviously last time. We're both from sort of Europe, but yeah, man, like not having to adjust the time zone and everything like that, able to come in and fight week on Tuesday as opposed to Saturday. I mean, it's great. It just means I can stay closer to home before the fight, and yeah, it works out well.
Were you surprised you didn't get into the rankings after that last win? I thought you would have gotten in that like 15 or 14 range.
Um, I knew that a win there would get me the next match at that. I was in my head. I was thinking that I'll probably get a top 15 in my next fight.
Yeah.
So, obviously getting Paul Craig, he went down to middleweight and now back up to light heavyweight. But this is a great fight because he's been ranked, in the top 15 at light heavyweight before he moved down for a very long time, and he was ranked at middleweight as well. So, like I say, a big win here, and I'll definitely be getting that top 15 matchup.
Were you surprised to get this fight? Because just like I know in Paul's last fight, like you said, that was the last fight his deal. Then he kind of had that weird no contest, and like
Yeah.
we lost before. You don't really know if he's gonna get re-signed. Like this kind of catch you by surprise that you're fighting Paul.
It was a bit of a surprise. I'm not going to lie to you, but it is, like I say, a very good domestic matchup. It's sort of a fight that's been in the making for years. Like in terms of, I kind of thought we would cross paths a little bit earlier, but it's just so happened that it's happened now, and it's actually probably in both our careers happened at the right time. And yeah, I'm like I say, I'm really excited. I mean, he's beaten champions before, so it's a good fight to go in there, get a good victory, to get that name under my belt. Because like I say, that will then lead me into the top 15. And if my last performance wasn't in everyone's eyes good enough, well, this is the performance now that I can make sure I stake my claim.
It is weird. Like Paul always like it is weird with him. Like sometimes like he beats Ankle, he beats these like Jamal, really beats these tough guys, and it's like these fights that I think he should win. Like I don't know, he just sometimes doesn't look good. Like is that like? Do you notice that when you're studying film? Like sometimes it is kind of like two different Pauls. Sometimes you get in there.
Yeah, no, 100%. Obviously, he's going to be raring to go. He didn't want to have a no contest in his last fight. So, you can tell he's going to be amped up to go in and get the victory. But he's beaten some very top names. Like he's beaten a couple in a row at light heavyweight before he moved down. So, like I say, you don't really know what to expect from him. He has a sort of similar game plan that he goes towards. But yeah, what it shows is that you just got to be switched on the whole time when you're fighting him, because as he's shown, one slip up and it could be your downfall. So I'm definitely prepared to make sure that I stay switched on mentally this whole time.
He obviously hasn't won a bit. Like, do you think that is just like the guys he's fighting? Or do you think that is like him on a decline in his career? Like, what do you kind of make of his being on
He's
that
fought
skid?
he's fought some very tough opposition. I mean, he's fought the cream of the crop at middleweight. You've got guys that are going towards fighting for the belt and stuff like this. I mean, Brendan Allen, great fighter. Kai Barao as well. So you got guys that are like at the top of the game. He's fighting the best of the best. So he's got experience fighting those top guys. But yeah, like I say, he just has a sort of hit and miss. He's fought very well, even some of the guys that he's even lost to. So he's always going to be dangerous. So like I say, I'm just prepared. I'm prepared for whatever he's going to throw at me.
And is the whole camp out in London again, like for this one?
Yeah, so I've trained a little bit up at BST as well, with Will Curry and Lucas Klinger, but predominantly my camp has been with Tom Aspinall and his crew, and always the training up here with all the heavyweights. We've got my teammate Ante Delia fighting on the card as well, so it's exciting. The whole team's sort of aligned to one goal, to one focus, and everyone's just getting prepared. Tom obviously now getting his fight with Cyril Gane, so everything just worked out really well, and I really love training with the guys up there. We've got, like I say, great camaraderie, great family spirit, and everyone just wants to improve. Andy, great coach, and he blends and gels very well with my dad as well. So it's just great. Like I'm really enjoying training up there. I'm
I,
up there right now, actually.
I didn't realize Antti was your teammate. Like it's a long time
Yep.
coming getting UFC. He was supposed to fight Gon like and then PFL like
Yeah, yeah,
blocked it.
yeah,
Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
didn't he finally get in there?
Yeah, it was funny. We literally just talking about that actually over dinner. So yeah, no, it's great how it's all turned out, mate. And it was always evident that that's the path that he was going to take. And yeah, mate, like it's very exciting times. He's looking in great shape, and yeah, I'm looking forward for the team to go out there and storm the grounds and bring back some victories.
Does that make fight week and like just the weight cut a bit easier having like a teammate and like other people you kind of know around?
Well, it's funny because obviously he's a heavyweight.
Yeah, he won't be cutting weight, but I don't know
Yeah,
if he'll like be in the room
yeah.
or whatnot or
I've,
like.
I've got some very good, I've got very good close team and family coming up with me, like some very close friends and stuff like this. And yeah, of course, having him around, it just makes you even more like sort of amped up and prepared. Obviously, I believe Tom's going to be out there as well. So it's. It's just amazing. Like I say, to be around great energy is obviously amazing for fight week. And my weight class aren't even too hard anyway. So yeah, it's just good to have that team spirit there.
Do you think you could ever get down to 85 then if it's not that hard?
Oh,
Or do you think
mate,
like that would be
I
205
don't know.
probably better?
If there was a in between division, maybe 195 I could make, but
Yeah.
185 I think is a bit of a push. I'm already lean at the minute, and I'm still like the lowest I've been this camp is about 218, 217. So and that's when I kind of kept on telling myself I need to eat more and more and more, and then my weight goes back up again. So I know other guys walk around at crazy weights, but when sort of you're in shape and you're not having to cut so much weight, I just think it's better. I think it will bring out the best in me. I'll be strong. I'll be fast. So yeah, 185 would be a push, maybe at some point, but for now, I'm not even thinking about it.
How do you kind of see this one playing it with you and Paul?
So obviously, you got two very experienced guys. I mean, he's literally fought the best of the best. He's got a game plan that he implements very, very well. Obviously, there's areas in the stand-up where he's a little bit more open. He can throw flashy kicks, and he does throw some very powerful kicks and some powerful strikes. But ultimately, his game plan is mainly on the floor. So yeah, it's just about putting the pressure, implementing my game plan, and not being fearful of what he's got on the floor because I've also got jiu-jitsu. So it's about just implementing my will and my game plan as opposed to being fearful of his. So like I say, I just see myself taking it to him, man, pressuring him, and ultimately getting the win.
Where do you think this win puts you? Like, I have to think, especially a finish, like it is either a ranked guy or you're in the rankings after this.
Yeah, I definitely think a ranked guy will be next, for sure, without a doubt. I mean, if I can come out unscathed, no injuries and stuff like this, I mean, I'll be looking to try and get a fight at the end of the year or early next year. So, realistically, yeah, this should be my pathway towards the top 15. And for Paul Craig, obviously from his end, he wants to be a guy that's on a bit of a surge and make his mark. But like I say, it's going to be a great matchup, and yeah, the top 15 is what I want. So I have to get through Paul Craig if I want to get there. So that's what I'm going out to set to do.
I guess the attention after you just kind of goes to helping Tom then for his fight against
Yeah,
Cyril.
100%. So like I said, no injuries, nothing too big. I'll probably take a couple of days away because I haven't been on holiday in ages. Just to get out in some sun and just relax and let the mind recover. Because I always get like, especially after fights, I'm always like, I just want to get back to training. I want to get back to training. But sometimes you actually got to pull yourself back and actually take a bit of time off. Not like, listen, I'm not talking like a month or whatever and like eating whatever and stuff like this. But even just 4 days in another country out in the sun, and then straight back into helping Tom. For his victory and his I mean he's already technically had a title defense, but as the undisputed champion. So yeah, man, it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to helping him as well prepare for his fight.
Yeah, I feel like you'd actually be a good look for Tom for Cyril, just because like kind of that long rangey striker like Cyril. Like I feel like it is probably a good benefit for you for Tom.
Yeah, 100%, man. We've been getting a lot of rounds in, so yeah, man, and like I say, the team energy is really good. We've got great guys in the camp. So yeah, man, it's just constant progressions, constantly improving and helping each other. And yeah, like I say, we're a team, man. So when one of us goes to war, we all go to war. So yeah, it's exciting times for everyone.
Just final thing, the hair is looking good. It grew in pretty good. Like,
Mate,
did you think it was going to
looking
come in that quick?
it's looking a bit crazy at the minute. I'm not going to lie to you,
It's long though.
but yeah, exactly. At least I got the length there. Shout out to Now Hair Time in Turkey, sorting me out. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And like everyone says, it looks very natural. And so mate, obviously, when we've got them photo shoots going, I'm gonna be stepping up to the plate, mate, getting the modelling shooting down. So yeah, mate, it's great. But like I said, I never thought I'll have hair like this. So. Sometimes things come together perfectly, and that's another one of those things.
Was that painful, or like I feel like I see it all like the time, and then I feel like I would just try to itch it all the time. Like I feel like that'd be like the biggest issue.
That was quite hard to sort of deal with, but the main thing in terms of the actual procedure, it was painless. Apart from, oh my god, there was like literally, I think, 10 or more anesthetic injections in your head. And if you've ever had an anesthetic injection, those are bloody painful. And especially in your head. I've had it in my neck before for shoulder surgery. And that one was really painful. But like a load of them in your head, like honestly, that was the hardest part to get through. Aside from that, everything was pretty plain sailing. I mean, I literally fell asleep during the procedure. And then, yeah, the first 10 days is just a massive ball ache because you like literally have to sleep upright and all this kind of stuff. But aside from that, mate, like, it's funny. My mum was telling me, she's like, and she was looking at me when I was having the shedding stage. She goes, "Did it work?" I'm like, "Mum, just chill. Like, listen, this is in progress. Do you know what I mean? We got a couple of months left down the line before you start seeing anything." And it's funny now. She's like, "Oh my gosh, your hair looks really good." I'm like, "Well, that's not what you were saying a couple of months ago." But nah, it's all fun and jokes, mate. And yeah, like I say, I'm glad that it's all perked up and puffed up quite well for me.
Well, Modestas, I appreciate the time as always. Thanks so much for doing this again.
You're the man, brother. Have an absolutely amazing evening. Appreciate you. Nice.
All right, we're joined by Martin Buday, who signed with Octagon here. Martin, how's it going, man?
Yeah, hello. Everything's good. Thank you.
Obviously, been a pretty crazy couple of weeks for you. Like, before we get into everything, I want to go back to that fight against Bukauskas. Like, obviously, you're a big underdog. He's been highly touted for a while. Like, when you got offered him, like, what did you kind of make that? Because it was kind of weird that it was his debut and he was getting a top 15 guy, and
I was like happy to enter Octagon against Bukauskas because I was knowing him very well. I was looking up to him when I was doing only BJJ before my like MMA career. So for me, it was like good challenge. If I look away from the fact that he is debutant, then I was ranked guy, but I was happy I can have a fight with him, definitely.
And did that fight play out kind of how you thought? Like, you obviously had a lot of success just keeping it standing on the feet. You didn't let him take you down. Like, is that kind of how you thought it was going to play, where he's going to have a hard time taking you down?
Yeah. I worked hard in my whole camp on takedown defense, so it went really well, I think, except the one takedown he scored the second round. But overall, yeah, I did a good job with my team also. I defended like 10 takedowns of 11 attempts, I think. So the game plan worked really well.
And then after the fight, I know that was the last fight of your deal, like, or going into it, like, did you think, like, were you worried that, like, that might have been it for you? Like, because I was kind of surprised. Like, they always need heavyweights. You had a really good record in the UFC. Like, did you kind of not, like, do you think it was weird they didn't re-sign you before going into your last fight?
There were like a couple of hints. They wanted finishes from me, so I didn't get finish in my fight before Bukauskas, and fight with Bukauskas also. It went to the distance, so it was like 50-50 for me or in my head. But I was hoping the performance wasn't bad at all. So I was hoping to get re-signed, but it didn't went really well for me.
So after you won, like you kind of had a feeling like that after you didn't get a finish, like even though you won, it's another decision that it might be it for you.
Yeah, of course. It was like 50-50. I'll stay in the UFC or I will be gone after that fight.
How weird is that? Like 7-1 in the UFC, like they always need heavyweights. Like Aspinall needs contenders. So like we're looking back now, like are you surprised? Like just kind of looking like maybe take yourself out of the picture. Like they would get rid of a 7-1 heavyweight guy. Like even though he isn't finishing fights, you're still winning and you're still like kind of rise up the ranks. And they always need heavyweight contenders for Aspinall as well.
Yeah, first of all, I will not fight with Tom at all, even if I will get to the top 5 because we are good friends. And second, I don't know. This was like strange move. Besides my score, it was like 7-1, number 12 in the rankings. So I was hoping I will get few more chances to prove myself, maybe with more maybe ranked opponents or something like that. But UFC decided this way, and that's it.
And MMA, it's kind of in a weird space where there isn't a whole lot of options. Like you have like Bellator no longer thing. PFL doesn't seem like they're signing a whole lot of things. Like was that pretty nerve-wracking for you? Like kind of not knowing what would be next, and kind of the MMA space isn't as like fruitful as it was a couple of years ago in free agency.
Yeah, first days I was like, what will be next? I was like really curious and nervous about that because I didn't have any offers on the table. But after it was announced publicly that I am not resigning, the offers started to came in from all over the world. So it was nice to have many choices. And mainly I was like deciding between PFL and Octagon at the end.
Obviously, you familiar with Octagon, former heavyweight champion. Like, so what kind of drew you to go back there? And obviously, finding close to home in Europe all the time, but what kind of was the main reason why you picked Octagon?
And the reason probably was that we have a history before, and I think we can do like big things there together in the heavyweight division with Octagon. So we made arrangement, and I'm very happy that I have a new home.
Have you talked about when you want your debut? Because you also didn't take a whole lot of damage in that last fight. Like I imagine you could fight pretty quickly.
Yeah, there was some options, but it's not announced yet. But it will be like in the end of the year. It will be a little bit like long wait because, as you said, I didn't took many damage in that fight. I was like, I have like one injury battle, but it's not like it was like from the camp. So I was healthy, but it's no problem for me. The fight will be in the end of the year in December. I will have good time for the preparation. It will be like a 5-rounder fight, so the camp will be a little bit different, and it's okay for me that it will be like 4 months, I think. So I'm happy with how it is.
I know you and Will kind of had that thing. Is that the fight you would want? Like just get the belt right away, or would you kind of want a fight before that, just get your feet back, what knocked on, and then go for the belt?
Doesn't matter for me, but now it's the straight title fight for me with Will Fleury. I'm happy to be against him. He's like good guy, good opponent. He's like skilled guy also. So I think we will show the fans the fight they deserve, and I'm gonna prove that I'm UFC level and I'm gonna take my belt back.
Do you think like the size will just play a huge factor in that? But like he's a guy that fought at 185 in Bellator, like 205 in PFL. Like I know he's at heavyweight now. He is on the smaller side. Like How do you think that'll play a factor in that fight? Just your size and strength.
Yeah, the side and strength will be like on my side, but on his side, there will be like speed and explosiveness, good footwork. But I will be ready for it. I will prepare myself for it with my team, and I will know how to deal with it.
Do you put any pressure on yourself to like start getting some finishes, like maybe prove some people wrong, or do you just still like the win is really all that matters?
Yeah, I would like to bring some good finish to prove myself and to prove others or like fans and other people that I'm capable of finish the fights. Before I entered the UFC in Octagon, I had like 100% finish rate, so I wanna jump straight on that fashion to get finishes.
Obviously, you weren't cut by the UFC, but you weren't just like your contract ended. Is there any thoughts of like, let's go win a couple in Octagon, get back, or would you be fine just like not going back there and kind of just proving how good you are at another promotion like Octagon?
I'm not focusing on that
Yeah.
at the moment. We will see in the future. Probably there is that option, and maybe not. But my main focus is to be with the Octagon and to do big things in the heavyweight division and together with Octagon. I really like them. I like all people who are working there. We know each other with the promoters also. So I want to get them something back for this opportunity that they give me, and they gave me a new home. So my main focus is on the Octagon right now.
Obviously, Octagon was big when you were there, but I think it's kind of taken a bigger step. Like it was always big in Europe. I think it's getting bigger in North America. Like they're doing like sold out stadiums and stuff. It's like, what's that like for you? Where like you leave the UFC and you might be fighting in front of more people than you were, you're like in this fight.
Yeah, that's true. That's totally possible. If I get on some of the big stadium event, I think they will make them in the future for sure because they were really successful with them. So it will be like incredible. When I left the Octagon, like they skyrocketed and they really growth, and they are number one in Europe right now, in my opinion.
Is there a bit of like a chip on the shoulder, like so like that is your belt still, and like you are kind of this like uncrowned champion before you fight for it?
Yeah, it's my belt. I left it there, but there is a new king, as Will Fleury is. So I will challenge him, and my plan is to take my belt back.
Are there any other guys that you'd be interested in fighting, like not next, or just like down the road that you want to share the Octagon with?
Sorry, can you say
Like,
again?
are there any guys in Octagon that you just want to fight down the road, just to kind of test yourself? Like, obviously, Will seems like it'd be next. Is there any other guys that like you just think would be a good fight for you or a fun fight?
Right now, the fun fight will be with Will Fleury.
Yeah.
For me. And after that fight, when I win, there are many contenders rising through the ranks in Octagon. So I will be happy to face all of them.
Just final thing, like what is kind of the goal then for you going forward? Like obviously the focus is getting a heavyweight belt, but like what's the ideal like 2026 look like for you then?
The ideal scenario for me will be like winning title in the end of this year and get like four title defenses and all finishes.
Yeah.
In 2026.
Well, Martin,
that would be the ideal scenario for me.
Well, Martin, I appreciate the time. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.